950 years. Not months, not decades, 950 years. Imagine standing in the same place, calling the same people, speaking the same truth for nearly a millennium. This is not a story about a flood. This is a story about patience. This is a story about faith when the world laughs at you. This is the story of Nuh. After Adam passed away, generations came and went. His children's children's children spread across the earth. At first, they remembered. They worshipped Allah alone. They followed the truth. But time is a strange thing. Slowly, the truth began to fade. Righteous men lived among them: Wad, Suwa, Yaguth, Ya'uk, and Nasr. When these righteous men died, Shaitan whispered to the people, "Make statues of them, so you remember their righteousness, so you don't forget." The statues were built. At first, just to remember, just to honor. But the next generation forgot why they were built, and the generation after that began to worship them. Stone replaced the Creator, memory replaced truth, and shirk, the greatest of sins, spread like wildfire. The people drowned in arrogance. They drowned in greed. They drowned in corruption, long before the water ever came. Into this darkness, Allah chose a man, not the richest, not the most powerful, but the most faithful, Nuh. Allah said to him, "Indeed, none of your people will believe except those who have already believed. So do not be distressed by what they do. Build the ship under our observation and our revelation, and do not address me concerning those who have wronged. They are to be drowned." Nuh knew what was coming, but before the flood came the call. For 950 years, Nuh stood among his people. He called them in the day, he called them at night, he called them publicly, he called them privately. Worship Allah alone. Turn back before it's too late. He will forgive you. He will give you time. He will bless you with rain, with wealth, with children. And what did they do? They laughed. They mocked him. They covered their ears. They wrapped their garments over their heads so they wouldn't even see him. They said, "You're just a man like us. Only the lowest of us follow you. You're nothing but a liar." But Nuh did not stop. When they insulted him, he prayed for them. When they rejected him, he returned the next day. When they threw stones, he wiped the blood and kept calling. Year after year, decade after decade, century after century. His beard grew long and white, his back bent with age, his voice grew weak, but his message never changed. Some believed, not many, but some. The poor, the weak, the humble. Those who had nothing to lose but everything to gain. Nuh did not gather kings, he gathered hearts, and that was enough. But the leaders, the chiefs, the arrogant, the wealthy, they plotted against him. They said, "If we let him continue, our children will abandon our gods. Our power will crumble. Stop him. Silence him." They tried, but you cannot silence truth. You can only reject it. Then came the command, build the ship. Nuh, who had never built a ship, Nuh, who lived far from the sea, Nuh, who was now centuries old, was told to build a ship on dry land, in the middle of nowhere. Can you imagine? The people thought he had finally lost his mind. Every day, as Nuh and his followers gathered wood, as they hammered and tied, as they worked under the scorching sun, the people passed by. "Old man, where's the water? Building a boat in the desert. You've gone mad." "The flood of your lies, Nuh?" They mocked, they joked, they walked away. But Nuh kept building, plank by plank, nail by nail, with the help of those who believed. The ship rose, massive, towering, impossible to ignore. and still they didn't believe. Then one morning, something changed. The sky darkened, not with night, but with clouds thick and heavy. The oven in Nuh's home, a sign Allah had told him to watch for, began to overflow with water, bubbling, gushing from within the earth itself. The command came, "Board the ship and take with you a pair of every creature and your family, except those against whom the word has already gone forth, and those who believe." Nuh called out one last time, "Come! The promise of Allah is here! Save yourselves!" But they laughed, even as the first drops began to fall. Nuh's wife refused. One of his sons refused. His own blood refused. Nuh's heart broke, but he obeyed. He boarded the ship with those who believed. 80 believers, some say, out of an entire nation. The animals came, a pair of each, led by Allah's will. And then the rain began. Not a drizzle, not a storm, a deluge. The sky opened, the earth cracked. Water poured from above and below. Every fountain of the deep burst open. Every cloud emptied itself. The people ran. They screamed. They climbed the mountains. But the water followed, higher and higher and higher. Nuh stood on the ship, watching, his heart heavy, his eyes searching. Then he saw him, his son, climbing a mountain, trying to escape. Nuh cried out, "My son, come aboard with us! Do not be with the disbelievers!" His son shouted back, "I will take refuge on a mountain! It will protect me from the water!" Nuh pleaded, "There is no protector today from the decree of Allah, except for whom He has mercy." And then a wave came between them, and his son was gone. The water covered the earth, every peak, every valley, every trace of the arrogance that once was. For months the ship sailed, alone on an endless sea, carried by waves like mountains, protected by Allah's command. Inside, Nuh and the believers cared for the animals. They prayed, they remembered, and they waited. Then, one day, the rain stopped. The command came, "O earth, swallow your water. O sky, withhold your rain." The water receded. The ship came to rest on Mount Judy. The door opened, and Nuh stepped out onto a new earth, washed clean, empty, ready to begin again. Nuh fell to his knees, not in celebration, in grief. He cried out to Allah, "My Lord, indeed my son is of my family, and indeed your promise is true, but you are the most just of judges." Allah replied, "O Nuh, indeed he is not of your family. He was of unrighteous deed. So do not ask me about that which you have no knowledge. I advise you, lest you be among the ignorant." Nuh understood. Family is not just blood. Family is faith. He bowed his head and said, "My Lord, I seek refuge in you from asking about that which I have no knowledge. And unless you forgive me and have mercy upon me, I will be among the losers." Allah forgave him, blessed him, and made every human being after that day a descendant of Nuh. Nuh lived on. He taught the new generation. He planted seeds, both in the earth and in hearts. He reminded them of what happened to those who turned away. And when his time came, Nuh passed from this world, knowing he had fulfilled his mission. 950 years of calling, 950 years of rejection, and yet he never stopped. He is not called the patient prophet by chance. The flood is over. The ship is long gone. But the lesson remains. When the whole world rejects you, and you stand alone with the truth, stand anyway. When people mock you for obeying Allah, obey anyway. When patience seems impossible, be patient anyway. because the rain will stop, the storm will pass, and truth will always rise to the surface. The question is, when the water comes, will you be on the ship or still laughing on the shore?